Let's move on now to main topic number 3. Chris, what is our third main topic today?
This is from Josh Bing. Hey, John and crew. Love watching the show. I saw on Twitter Michael Rosenbaum said he was contacted by Crisis, but turned it down due to no script, not knowing when he'd shoot, no idea what he'd be doing, basically no money. He said WB wanted an immediate answer, so he kindly passed. I agree 100% with him, but this makes me wonder if Crisis will feature many cameos from a lot of big announced names and no real substantial roles. What do you make of this interaction? How do you feel about these people being brought on without any knowledge of what the Crisis arc is going to be like?
You know, it's funny because, you know, when they announced that Tom Welling was going to come back and reprise his role as Clark Kent, and then they immediately followed that up with Erica Durance was coming, I said, you know what? I think it's only a matter of time till we hear Michael Rosenbaum is coming back too. Mm-hmm. He's probably going to come back. And sure enough, they did contact him. Now, for those of you wondering, well, wait a minute, what's this person talking about in the email? What are they saying? Here's exactly what Michael Rosenbaum was asked about it, about whether or not he would come back and play Lex again. And he said the following. He said, I'll just be straight up about this, Michael Rosenbaum said. WB called my agents on Friday afternoon when I was in Florida visiting my grandfather in a nursing home. Their offer, no script, no idea what I'm doing, no idea when I'm shooting, and basically no money. And the real kick in the ass, we have to know now. My simple answer was pass. I think you can understand why. And there are two elements to this, guys, that I think that are important to note. Number one, that and it wasn't just me, there's a lot of you guys too, a lot of us who thought that maybe Michael Rosenbaum would come back. Well, they did have that idea and they did go to him. And it is disturbing that they would go to him and say, agree to be in this thing, and you have to agree now, and we're not going to tell you what it is you're going to be doing, and we're not going to tell you is when you're going to be shooting, and we're not going to tell you what we're going to have the character like, and we're not going to tell you anything. You just have to agree right now or no, and we're basically not going to pay you much. We're going to pay you next to nothing. I don't blame Michael Rosenbaum at all for saying no. Now, at the same time, I wouldn't have blamed him if he had said yes. You know, it would have been fine if he decided to say yes to this, Rob. I mean, that's fine too, but I can't blame him for saying no to this in the least. But this is where it becomes more concerning, is that they have no idea what they would have. Look, I said this before. I always enjoy the CW crossover events every year. I get a big kick out, particularly Crisis on Earth X.
Yep.
That one was really fun. But they've done a number of really good ones, and they're always enjoyable and always a good laugh. Going into this one, they added Kevin Conroy. They're adding, Brandon Routh is going to be Superman 2. We got Tom Welling coming back. Aaron throwing all this kind of stuff. And I said the other day on this show, I said, I've got a little bit of a worry here that they're not even thinking about how good the story is going to be. To me, it feels like they're just, let's just throw everything into it and it'll work itself out. It'll be big fan service. And I'll tell you what, reading this comment from Michael Rosenbaum saying that just kind of really establishes those fears. It really does now sound very much like they're not putting much thought into the story. They're not putting much thought into how well will this actually play as a piece of screen entertainment. They're just worried about throwing whatever in. When you're calling up a guy to be in it saying, hey, just agree to this. We don't know what your character is going to do. We don't know what he's going to do, but just agree to it and come and be in it. That doesn't speak very highly to me, Rob, about how they're approaching this crossover event, about how much thought and planning they're putting into this thing. To me, it just feels like they're winging it off their asses right now. And I got to admit, look, I'm not expecting Shakespeare from CW. Let's be clear. I'm not. But I want them to at least make it look like they're taking this like, hey, we've got a responsibility to our audience. They deserve for us to deliver to them a quality piece of entertainment that's going to be a fun and blah, blah, blah. But it feels to me like they're just winging this damn thing, and this Michael Rosenbaum comment just kind of reinforces it. I don't know. Am I getting too paranoid about that, Rob? What do you look and see into this situation?
I think not at all. Basically what all actors want is they want to play a good part at the end of the day. And if you're doing a crossover like this and you're going after a guy who was on a Smallville ran 10 years?
Yeah.
11 years?
Something like that, yeah.
So there's a certain level of respect that any actor has earned over the course of a decade playing a character on a show. Now, if you're going to go to him and you're going to be like, hey, we have this really cool idea, the way that you attract an actor is to give them sides. Sides are the part that you're playing. It's script pages. They're called sides. You send them a part and go, how great is this? Even if that part was 2 pages, if there was something really unique and interesting that made that actor invaluable, who would add something to the proceedings. If an actor reads a great part, their first impulse is like, I want to do this. Sure, they're going to want to get paid. That's absolutely true. But if you give an actor a part like this in an event like this, and it's a good part, they're not going to just be like, no, don't worry. Their people will negotiate, and they'll play the game, which is true. But if you give somebody something that's really good to play, people want to play it. You can't call an actor up and say, we want you to come back for our crossover event, and not tell them what they're doing. Because what you're doing is you're saying, you as an actor are not important. We just want your face. Yeah. And no actor just wants that. An actor wants to play a part that leaves an impression. Look, when Beatrice Straight was in Network, the movie Network, she was in Network for like 5 minutes. She won a Best Supporting Actress.
Yes, she did.
Academy Award for that, because it was a great part. That's what actors want. That's all they want. I mean, sure, everybody wants to get paid, but you also want to play something that's great. And it bums me out, just like you said, John. If they didn't know what they wanted Lex Luthor for, then Lex Luthor doesn't know what they want him for either. Right. So why should he play the part?
Yeah, I completely agree.
They did not give him a reason to say yes.
Yeah, and who knows? Like, what if, they see what CW's done with Superman, right? So he signs up and he comes back. And if you saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, actors being made to look stupid, even playing a character, that's important to them. So who knows what they're going to have done to Lex Luthor if he comes back, right? I mean, it's concerning to me. Chris, what do you make of this whole situation? Do you think this is something that's like, hey, come on, Rosenbaum hasn't exactly been busy on screen lately. Do you understand and sympathize with why he would pass this up?
I do. And initially, when you were pretty skeptical of all these cameos, I was like, John, come on, it's going to be fine. You're being so negative. Just hang in there. And now with this comment, it's, they didn't have a script. And why would you just throw Lex Luthor in without any reasoning? You know, he's a mastermind. He needs to have those sides. He needs to have that script, because obviously if you want Lex to be part of a crossover story, he should have a pretty big part. He's a very, very big part of the DC universe. And I've been so excited about this, and I was really hoping Michael would come back, because what we have here is so many fun opportunities, what with Erica being both Lois and Kara Zor-El's mom,
right.
With Brandon being, Superman as well, and having Tom come back, and not only being able to play Lex Luthor, but coming in and being able to do Wally West, because he was the voice of the Flash on Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
Right, I totally forgot about that.
And maybe even doing that and having, Tom and Erica be very, very iffy about this guy. Because he's got the face of their arch enemy. I love the idea of that, but not having a script that you can show, that makes me really, really nervous.
It's
concerning.
And what's funny is you go okay, you just look at the DC comics with President Luthor. There's what if you have the encroaching. I just keep remembering the opening pages of Crisis on Infinite Earths 1, where you had Earth 3 being destroyed, and Alexander Luthor, who is a hero on Earth 3, was trying to save the world as the wave of whatever it was, unreality or destroying the universe is happening. What if you gave Rosenbaum, as young as he still is, some Morgan Freeman Deep Impact speech where he's giving this speech where him and Superman are working together. He's President Luthor, and Tom Welling's Superman is trying to stop the encroaching end of the universe or something, and you give him a 2-minute scene where he's giving a great speech and he's talking to Superman, or I don't know. It's a 2-page scene, but the end of the universe happens on their watch, and he gets to give some amazing, we will rebuild speech, at the end of Deep Impact when Morgan Freeman was president of the United States. Who wouldn't want to do that? Look, I just made that up on this show. Write that up. Send that to him. This is your sides. Here you go.
Yeah, there are so many storylines, and this is a huge, huge comic arc. Why is there nothing to show these actors? That's where I'm really confused.
Yeah, that's the part that's concerning to me, is that, so you have so lack of a plan that you're just going to actors, hey, come on back to me in there. What would I be doing? We don't know. That's not good. And this is coming from a guy who's liked all this stuff. Question is, guys, What do you think about all this? Do you think maybe Rosenbaum just should have sucked it up and been in it anyway? Is it not concerning at all in the least that they went to him without a plan? Are you concerned like me that they don't seem to have a plan? What are your thoughts on this? Jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. All right.